Hey guys, Brad with Vintage Axe Revival. How you doing this morning? Well, thought I would make a video on removing wedges and reseating a head if a head comes loose. This is a custom throwing axe that I made for David Lewis, and unfortunately the head came loose. So the first step is you're going to use a drill bit that's a little bit smaller than the screw that you're using. And we're going to use these sheetrock screws. We're going to screw them in. We're going to probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across this way. And then we're going to use impact to try to get them to pull up on this wedge. Now, the problem is this wedge, I believe I epoxied it in, so I don't know what is going to happen. But the first step for you guys, just so you understand, is drill down, and you don't have to go that deep. I am going deeper than I normally would in this case because I'm trying to kind of investigate if there's any voids or open spaces that in that wedge area, also just kind of getting a feel for how far that wedge goes down. So first step, drill your holes. We have, tip you up here, we have 5 holes drilled now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to screw in these sheetrock screws. I think they're 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch. We're not going to put them in all that far because we don't want to screw into the handle itself. We're trying to just get them in the wedge, not the actual handle wood, or else it would defeat the purpose. Now, don't know if this is going to work or not, honestly. This thing's really in there. All right. Now, you gotta have your axe really tight in your vise. Then I'm gonna use this funky looking tool made by Crescent. It is, I don't know what they call it, but it works great for pulling nails out of hardwood floors and stuff like that. So, first step is we're gonna grab on to, now here's the thing, you gotta be really careful when you're working with something like this polished custom head so you don't hit the head itself, right? The goal here is that you're going to break loose whatever glue you used or adhesive, whatever. You're going to break that loose through impact, percussion. Without hopefully hitting your head or anything else. I am gonna put a couple strips of blue tape on this side of the head so that if I do strike it, it doesn't get marred. Now this can be a little bit of a tedious process. I'm increasing the amount of force just a little bit at a time. Now what can happen is the wedge will sometimes break and come out in pieces. Just re-securing the head in there. Okay. So far, it's not budging, right? Now I know you're sitting on the vise, so you're seeing these vibrations or impacts. So that screw pulled out. The wedge material. Alright, lost you there for a second. Okay, so right now, this is where we're at. One pulled out, then another piece of the wedge pulled out. The goal here is not to get all of the wedge material out. The goal here is to make enough space that you can get the head off, okay? So that you can reassess what's happening with the wedges, okay? Okay, another piece of wedge came out. Now, unfortunately, these pieces that are coming out are not going very deep. That one, fairly deep. Okay, so this is what we, dang it, this is what we have. I don't know what you guys can see here. Okay. You can see that wedge material came out, but not down very low. So, but what that does give you the ability to do is do a little cutting to see what else you might be able to remove. Now, I don't know if it's going to be worth trying to loosen up these cross wedges or not, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to use an upward striking motion. That's not doing much. Okay, so that's coming loose. It did pull a little bit of the eye. I don't know if it broke the wedge. If we got the whole cross wedge out in one piece, that would be fantastic. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it probably broke. Yep, did break, but that's okay. It's given us a little bit more space to try to get this head off. Okay, and that one broke too, but that's okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling up at the same time that I'm giving it some percussion to just make things break off or whatever. So, all right, now there's a ton of wedge material still left in there, right? But I have a feeling that with a little bit of cutting, I'll be able to get this head off so that we can reseat it and figure out what the problem is. Okay, this tool, the Dremel multi-tool. This is the blade we're going to use. I think I have a newer one though here that I want to grab. Yep, I do. Alright. It's going to be loud. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut down now along the shape of the wedge. I'm going to prop you guys up in a different spot here so that you're not feeling all the vibration. What's going on? Okay. Make sure your axe is really secure. So now I'm just going to try to dig out a little bit. Wish you guys could see what I see right here, but you guys get the idea. Got to be conscious of what you're impacting as you dig around in here, that you're not scratching stuff up. So the goal here is to remove enough wedge material that the head will come off. All right. Now we're gonna use a drift like this. If you guys don't have these, there's a gentleman, you can find him on Facebook. His name is Derek Culpepper. He will make these for you. Okay. Let's just see what we can do here. Okay, so it is coming out. Not real easily, but it is. You can see that it is making its way. Now, since it kind of stalled out there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more cutting, so a little bit more relieving the pressure. Tighten this up a little bit. Move you around here. I have to cut a little deeper, unfortunately. Okay. It's gonna come out. So, get the... Alright, so there we go. We got it. And we gotta assess what's going on here. And I think I see exactly the problem. Okay, so in this situation, I think I was probably at fault here. When I hung it, I didn't go long enough with the kerf to give it enough expansion in this area. The kerf only went down to about there. Now, normally, you know, we preach in the axe world 2/3 of the way down for the kerf, which is about right. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get the rest of the wedge material out of here, which is a lot easier to work with, right? Now, if you guys want to know a little trick, if you're working with an expensive handle like this, make sure you protect it every way you can to prevent you from scratching it, damaging it, marring it, whatever you want to call it, while you're working on it. So I use, obviously, cellophane wrap. That way if I bump it against something like I just did, I'm not too worried about it taking the marring hit, something like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna remove the rest of the wedge material, and then I'm going to cut the kerf longer, deeper, and then I'm going to re-wedge this, and hopefully everything will be good. So there you go, guys. Brad with Vintage Axe Revival. That is how you get wedges out of a axe handle so that you can remove the head and work on it. So hope you guys have an awesome day. Take care.